Hello there. 9:29 on Wednesday, the 26th of August, and Johnson, Johnson for Everton, the winger that used to be Tottenham. Oh, I can't remember who he used to be before Tottenham, but anyway, he's Welsh, or he decided to play for Wales. I don't know if he is actually English or something, but he's Welsh anyway. And I quite liked him at Tottenham, but towards the end of his career there, he wasn't playing that often. But anyway, he's just scored, and Barry's got his first hat-trick for Everton. 4 goals in 2 games, but I wouldn't get ahead of ourselves. It's only Crystal Palace and Preston respectively, and Premiership and EFL Cup respectively. But anyway, it's the 74th minute, and we've played well, but 4-0 flatters us, but it's a very, very, very professional performance. Because in the past, in smaller cups, we've been put out by teams that are a lot worse than Preston. I think there was one time we got put out by Peterborough, then we got put out once by, I think, Fleetwood Town, so still a good professional win, but anyway. So, and in the other games respectively, Tottenham are winning a 3-2. No, Tottenham are winning 3-0 and Newcastle are winning 3-2. And then for some reason, I've got Bradford to beat Burnley. I did actually think it said Brentford, but I just seen the BR and in the forward bit. I didn't. But it doesn't matter. It's only for £4.44. Aye, so 50p is 50p. Anyway, but I'm going to put it back on the Everton game. Oh, right, aye. The Everton game. The Newcastle game must have started at 2:15, 7:45, aye, because that's on the 90th minute and this Everton game's on the 78th minute. I really hope right now though that Everton take off 3 of their best players and bring on 3 youngsters, give them a chance. So take off and Dewsbury Hall and Tarkovsky if he's still playing, and then bring on the 2 guys that we've just signed recently to give them games. Anyway, so at the moment, or recently anyway, I've made 2 homemade infused like spicy chili honey. Hot honey, if one will. The first one I made was 2 teaspoons gochujang chili bean paste. Mixed it to thin it out a bit with honey to thin it out a bit to make it pliable and runny. Mixed it in really well, sealed it with a lid, and then put it away somewhere dark and like room temperature, to impart the flavour into the honey. And then every time I use it, I just stir it a wee bit, just so that it doesn't thicken up too much and distribute the honey and the spice. And then the day I put in the microwave for 40 seconds. 1 teaspoon of Jamaican jerk seasoning and 1 teaspoon Korean barbecue seasoning into a resealable tub. Put it in the microwave for 40 seconds, but the next time I'll do it for 55 seconds to waken up the spices a bit more. And then I done that, left it to cool for about 10 seconds, and then put just a little bit like more honey in it, mixed it around, tried it a wee bit, thought, oh, it was just a little bit too spicy, so I put a tiny little bit more honey, just so that it made it runny, and then mixed it in like mad, so it wasn't too thick. And then I sealed it and I put it in a drawer so that it's dark and no natural light can get to it. And I'm leaving it for 2 days to infuse. Tried it earlier on, about maybe 2 hours ago, and it was stunning. I made it at about 3 o'clock of the day, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it'll infuse for more than 8 hours before I try it again. Rubbish! But the second time I tried it, it's definitely the greatest sauce I've ever made in my life. And I've made quite a few. But next time though, I might try and make, because I've also got Fiji seasoning, so I might try and make a spicy mayonnaise one day with that. 55 seconds in the microwave, and then the same amount of mayonnaise, but just a tiny little bit more, just to dump in the spice, but still taste the spice. But you want to taste this mayonnaise just a little bit more, because it's mayonnaise rather than spice. And then I'll infuse it for a day, and then try it. So every sauce I make, I'm just going to try and make it with a nice, rounded, warm spice flavour, and then marinate it for a day and try it. Might do an oil next time. And then one day I might do ice cream. But when I put spices with whatever I'm doing it with, like honey or mayonnaise, the normal mayonnaise that I use, I'll just use the spicy mayonnaise instead of normal, and the same with the honey. Right, so, and dye's coming off, and Alvarez is coming on. Oh, and Dewsbury Hall's coming off. Just like I said. I said Dewsbury Hall and Dye. Or Indie. Indie sounds like you're saying, oh my god, I got that Indie. Like, oh, I've got a bit of space Indie. But Mikalenko's came off. Still didn't really properly rate him, but he's solid, but quite inconsistent at the same time. But he's always a 5 out of 10 or above. He's never anything below that. 5 is average, but he did set up one this evening, but it's only against Preston, so no talking it up too much. George, I signed him, last season got him on loan for Chelsea and signed him permanently now. I just really hope though that does give the youngsters maybe a chance this season, or just brings them on like say between 5 and 3 minutes earlier than he did last season. Dibling, Armstrong, and all the ones that are coming on. Who's this one? Hurry up and turn around. I really did rate Harrison, but he's never had the moments that he deserves. Definitely deserves at least like half an hour more than he's had in his Everton career. Oh, I didn't see that there. Right, just to finish off this video here, George, Alvarez, and you? Azuna or E? Never heard of him. Must either be a youngster for the youth team or someone that we've signed that's so young that didn't even make it onto my radar. Anyway, just a little bit longer because it's just showed you something here. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, for God's sake. I had Barnsley to beat Burnley, but it's 0-0, so it's went to penalties because extra time or penalties didn't count as the 90 minutes. Anyway, I'll get back to you in the next video on, I don't know when, maybe either tomorrow or Saturday, and tell you who that guy that came on for Barry is, or who he is. Right. Bye.